During the state of emergency, the meeting will be conducted in accordance with the California Government Code 54953E as authorized by resolution. Please contact city.clerk@mountainview.gov to obtain a copy of the applicable resolution. All members of the Performing Arts Committee will participate in the meeting by video conference with no physical meeting location. Online, you may join the Zoom webinar using this link, https://mountainview.gov/meeting and entering webinar ID 821-7454-3381. You will be asked to enter an email address and a name. Your email address will not be disclosed to the public. When the chair announces the item on which you wish to speak, click the raise hand feature in Zoom. Speakers will be notified of their turn shortly before they are called on to speak. By phone, dial area code 669-900-9128 and enter webinar ID 821-7454-3381. When the chair announces the item on which you wish to speak, dial *9. Phone participants will be called on by the last 2 digits of their phone number. When called to speak, please limit your comments to the time allotted, up to 3 minutes at the discretion of the chair. For instructions on using the raise hand feature in Zoom, visit https://mountainview.gov/raise_hand. I call to order the meeting of the Performing Arts Committee of the City of Mountain View on January 18th, 2023 at 6:18 p.m. I request staff for a roll call.
Vice Chair Kumar,
Present.
Committee Member Yao,
Present.
Committee Member McAllister.
Yes.
Present and accounted for.
We have a quorum.
We do.
Third item on the agenda, minutes approval. Approval of minutes. Recommendation, the Performing Arts Committee PAC to approve the minutes of the November 16th, 2022 meeting. I had one comment, and that is that in the previous minutes, it does say that we will be meeting in person, but as you know, we are meeting on Zoom. Does that need a change or a modification?
I don't think that needs a change. It was accurate at the time. And we will be meeting in person in February.
At your bar?
Sorry?
Never mind. No. All right. Nothing. Just a quick one. There.
Do we ask for a public comment on this?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
ask first of all if there's public.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is public.
There is no public.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
I can second that.
Any discussion?
Sorry,
As you asked, is there any discussion?
I asked, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting?
Right.
Yes,
Well,
but
actually-
he approved, you seconded, and then you asked for any discussion. And then
Okay.
if there's none, then minutes stand approved.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So is there a discussion? Do we have a vote? Do we call for a vote?
Yes. Oh, I do. You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Vice Chair Kumar,
Yes.
Committee Member Yao,
Yes.
Committee Member McAllister.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm missing Noel today.
All approve? Item number 4 on the agenda, oral communications from the public. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the committee on any matter not on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. State law prohibits the committee from acting on non-agenda items. Do we still not have anyone from
We have
public?
no public at this time. other than our guest.
Okay. What do we do in that case?
Move on.
We move on.
Moving
Next
on,
agenda item.
new business. Welcome new Performing Arts Committee member. Recommendation, MVCPA's Executive Director to greet and welcome new PAC member.
And unfortunately, that person had to resign, so I don't have a new member to welcome.
Well, okay, this is a committee of 5, right?
Yes,
And so there's 3 of us. And we had a full committee at one time. Now we're back down to 3 members.
yes. We're gonna have
There's-
to go back out.
There's 2 openings.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that update.
Okay, moving on. 5.2, second stage fee waiver program application. Recommendation, review second stage fee waiver application and provide direction to staff. I looked over the fee waiver application and I noticed that in the hand-filled segment, the event name says the Cuckold Husband, while in the typed version, in brief description, it says the cheated husband.
But Vice Chair, is there a staff report for this?
There is, yes.
There
you
was
guys-
a document of the application.
But is
sent
there, that's different than a staff report.
there
No,
Does
is-
the
there
staff have any comment?
The
report?
staff doesn't have a report, they have a presentation, and then we have a application request for fee waiver. Do we, Justin, did we email these out to everybody or no? So I apologize, Noel has been sick, and so there's some things I know that got done and some things I'm not sure. So you guys did not receive the fee waiver.
No, we didn't.
I
Okay.
didn't
No.
see it go out either, no. I can try to bring it up.
So why don't we do this before we move into the fee waiver? Let's let our guest give her PowerPoint presentation about the company, and then we can review the fee waiver. You guys did get the document, the fee waiver
Request,
The request.
application.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
you didn't get the scoring card.
no.
Gotcha. My apologies for that. But let's go ahead and let Veronica give her presentation, and then we can look at the scoring card and discuss the application.
Hello, everybody. Buenas noches. Thank you for your time and your kindness to be present and listening to Teatro Nahual presentation. How many minutes do I have to talk about the theater group?
I gave you like 10, but allow a
Okay.
little room for some questions.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay,
De nada.
gracias. I'm going to share the screen, what I have here. Okay. Ay. Let me go first and open the screen. Slideshow, start. Oh, I cannot see. Hold on. Share screen. You can see this? Can you see it?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, I think view.
if you hit slideshow
Oh, that's here. Yeah,
Here.
that's here.
and then play from beginning.
That's here. Play from the start. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me introduce myself quickly. I am Verónica Mesa, the founder and artistic director of Teatro Nahual. I have many hats in the community. I can mention, of course, my cultural background and my career is theater arts from the National Autonomous University of Mexico. I have a BA. I've been in theater since I was a little girl, of course, acting in Spanish, and all my work has been theater arts in Spanish. Of course, Teatro Nahual has been performing or editing or videotaping some clips or videos or movies in English too, but our main focus is totally in Spanish. Also, I am a Spanish department chair at the Girls Middle School. That's progressive school located here in the Bay Area. Before we were located in Mountain View, the Restor Avenue, and years ago we moved to Palo Alto, and that's where it's located. I am also a writer for a Hispanic newspaper, Alianza Metropolitan News, and my sections are education and culture. And of course, I've been directing Teatro Nahual. I am a playwright and acting teacher and a theater lover, and always thinking how to give a service to the community and help our Hispanic community throughout the theater arts. This is Teatro Nahual, and I think that it's better listening to this video, and you can hear a little bit about the mission and listen to the voices of some of the actors that belong to Teatro Nahual. And let's see.
To speak of Teatro Nahual is to speak of professionalism, passion for theater, education, entertainment, and reflection through theater combined with theater and yet more theater.
Teatro Nahual se fundó en el año 2003 y somos una organización sin fines de lucro fundada en el condado de Santa Clara. La misión del Teatro Nahual es promocionar el teatro completamente en español de una manera educativa, brindar un servicio a la comunidad hispana.
Digo, olvídenlo. No, olvídenlo. Yo no le puedo hablar a usted.
Desde el año 2004 también impartimos clases de actuación para jóvenes, para niños, para adultos.
Mi nombre es Luis Nicolás y el motivo por el cual yo decidí estudiar las clases de actuación aquí en Teatro Nahual es porque quería vencer a la timidez que yo sentía en mí mismo y otras inseguridades. Y la verdad que esto me ha ayudado, ya que aquí se trabaja grupalmente y se trabaja con el drama, con la voz, con la expresión corporal. Entonces eso me ha ayudado a vencer esas inseguridades.
Me llamo Federico, soy italiano-español. Llevo viviendo en Estados Unidos desde hace 3 años y medio y siempre quise encontrar un grupo de teatro en español con el que compartir, bueno, pues la pasión por el teatro que siempre he tenido desde que era adolescente.
Mi nombre es Alicia Sauceda, la muñeca. Estaba yo buscando cómo encontrar mi personaje de la muñeca, cómo extenderlo y hacerlo un mejor personaje. Estaba buscando por eso clases de actuación cuando me encontré con el Teatro Nahual. ¿Cuál fue mi sorpresa para mí? Que en lugar de encontrar un personaje me encontré a mí misma y aprendí que a partir de ahí, sabiendo quién soy, cómo soy, mis gustos favoritos, a partir de ahí puedo ya personalizar al personaje que estoy buscando.
Well, this is a small video regarding about the acting classes that we call the Mountain View Community Center. It has been our place where we rent the space to really practice the performances that we have. We practice once a week or twice a week, depending when we are close to a performance. And also we hold the Spanish acting classes there. For example, right now the actors are waiting for me at the Mountain View Community Center, and I'm going to meet them at 7:30 p.m. And we are right now practicing the new play. Entonces, you heard a little bit about the voices of the actors of Teatro Nahual. And we were founded in 2003. Our mission is promote education and entertainment throughout the Spanish language plays. And we also have start acting classes for children, youth, and adults since 2004. And we've been like several workshops that we've been holding for the community. And people from all over the Bay Area are attending our classes. In the past, we were in East San Jose, where was the National Hispanic University in the past. We were holding classes twice a week there. And before the pandemic, we moved to the community center in Mountain View, California. And this is another video that was recorded during the pandemic. This is one of the plays that we have the opportunity to present to the audience in 2020, February 29, 2020. Before was a national and world call about the pandemic. And we present the play, we premiered at MACLA in San Jose, California. And our season was interrupted or break because of the pandemic, but we record the video. And later we were able to present the play again on April, last April 2022 in MACLA. And it was the play. It's a small video. I think that you can have a little taste about what the work that we do.
Tú eres la más la madre de la belleza de la mujer. Por mucho que digan que es una niña marina, la despierta, marinche, la hermosa de la marina, ahora somos horribles. Soy el gran señor de Tenochtitlan, pero muchos amigos, soy ocupado. ¿Eres quién? Yo soy tu padre. Ya, el jefe. ¿Quién será ya el viejo? Toda la transmisión.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Malinche Show.
Ayúdame a morir, Cortés. Córtame la cabeza y tendrás mi amor.
Well, this is Malinche Show. I love this performance. The author was Wilibaldo Lopez. He knew that we were going to perform here at San Jose. He was so happy. Later, he passed away, but he knew that we were going to perform Malinche Show here at San Jose, California. And I have the pleasure to be also in contact with many of my teachers from the National Autonomous University of Mexico. And we've been performing several of the plays here. We brought one of the teachers, Tenorio, Miguel Ángel Tenorio, that is a very famous playwright, of course, in Mexico. We brought it here in 2017 to see one of the premieres of his plays. And it's been very nice to be in contact with people from Mexico and bring new and refreshed performances here in the Bay Area, totally in Spanish. What else? Here. What are we looking? Why we have this presentation and what I request a presentation to you, to the Performing Arts Committee. In general, for years, we've been looking for a permanent theater house. We've been performing in many places around the Bay Area, in different places, and we also been, like, of course, spending or covering high costs in the theater spaces. And it's been very sad, no, that the amount that we can get for selling some of the tickets is mostly going to the rented space, to covering expenses for the rental expenses for the technician, and really for our artists or our actors, the director, the musician, and everybody, we are getting just a small honorariums for the high expenses that we are covering. I think that there are, throughout the years, a lot of conflict of interests with another theater companies that have been, Chicano theater companies have been in the area probably for many years. And of course, they have a permanent space, and we've been like going from one place to another and knocking doors, no? And Teatro Nahual has been able to collaborate with other organizations throughout the years and to engage the audience in the wonderful world of the theater arts. And we are still with the open hands and open mind to be collaborating, continue collaborating with organizations to give a service to the community. This photo was taken last year in the 26th anniversary of the Day Worker Center in Mountain View, California. And we were acting outside of the Mountain View City Hall in the Esplanade with the anniversary of Day Worker Center. And we've been acting twice outside on the field there. And I've been thinking, and I've been looking at your website, and I've been thinking, oh, wow, this is a beautiful theater. I've been there looking several plays, totally, of course, in English, and Mountain View Performing Arts. And for me, it was a dream, no? It's been a dream probably to cover expenses to that big stage. And later, I've been looking throughout your website, and I found out that you have a second stage And I said, oh my God, I am a Mountain View resident and I never checked out this website carefully and found out that was a second stage and perhaps an opportunity to ask for a fee waiver and perhaps for opportunity to knock the door and ask for a permanent theater house, And that's why I sent the proposal first. I asked Jen by email, and she gave me a lot of information. We met by Zoom, and she told about you and all the work that you do, and that's why I decided to send the application. And what else? We offered acting classes in 2004. These are some of the actors that have been taking classes, totally in Spanish. We have a curriculum. The curriculum is based from a thesis that I wrote from the National Autonomous University of Mexico. The exercises are based on that and adapted to the Hispanic community here in the United States. We get people from all over Latin America. We just not get Mexican. We get Mexican people. We get Nicaraguans, people from Colombia, people from Peru, all over. I can tell all over. Spain, of course, Argentina, all over the Latin American and Hispanic, and Hispanic people. We've been performing since 2003, around 24 plays for children, youth, and adults, entirely in Spanish, produced by Teatro Nahual. We also produce, I direct a web novela, sad opera that you can find in Amazon Prime, that the name is Mirela, and we showed a lot of 19 episodes about Alzheimer, talking about Alzheimer, and the episodes are acted by Teatro Nahual actors and directed by me, but the initiative is for Photoseek company that was the producer, and I wrote the script, and that's a wonderful project. Totally, of course, you can find it in a video, in TV series, to inform about the Alzheimer issue for the Hispanic community. Also, we produce a movie and a performance, La Espera, The Hope, Immigrant Stories, performed by workers and actors. Was a project produced by the Day Worker Center in Mountain View with Maria Marroquin. It was a great experience, and that's why we continue holding that friendship for many years with Maria Marroquin and the Day Worker Center, because I believe that we are so close about our mission. We are serving the community. They are serving, of course, the essential workers. We are serving also essential workers, but throughout the theater arts. Yeah. In our theater group, we have people that are essential workers, professional workers. We have people that are engineers, people with PhD, people with master's degree, people working in essential field. And I think that's what Teatro Nahual is so rich, talking about variety and diversity. And of course, you are welcome, all genders, all genders and everybody that is willing or want to learn about the theater arts. This is one of the photos in 2003. These practices were at the Girls Middle School when the Girls Middle School was in Mountain View in Restor Avenue, where is the church, San Joseph Church there. Yeah, San Joseph. We were practicing the first play in 2003. This is one of the actors that were performing here. This is 2003. We were performing in Bakersfield, California. The play was La Otra Cara del Indio, Another Face of the Indian, and we brought it to Bakersfield, California. It was a great experience to work to perform the play for farmers over there. We've been all the Bay Area, of course, with this play. And the Vagina Monologues, we performed in 2010 in San Francisco, California, the Mission Cultural Center. We've been in San Jose, we've been in Los Angeles, and Frida Kahlo Performing Arts Theater. In Los Angeles, we've been all area with this Vagina Monologues, and we performed this project 3 times because it was very successful. And we were the first Spanish theater group, or the first group here in the area to perform the Vagina Monologues totally in Spanish for the community. It was a huge success. Talking about this topic for the community opened many doors to tell about domestic violence, to tell about racism, to tell about difference between females and males. Of course, was a very nice experience. And this is the new piece in the marriage in 2014. This is some of the actors that were performing. Another play in 2016. I cannot see well from the top. Yeah, 2016, the Legends, Dreams, and Realities. And this performance now is a school project that we are bringing the project to different schools that are bilingual, in the bilingual immersion schools, that Spanish English. And we are bringing the play totally at the schools, at the cafeterias or the theaters or the multipurpose rooms. We bring the play in Spanish. We perform, I will show you a video later. This is one of the photos of the project of Mirela Productions. that I told you that you can find it in Amazon Prime, talking about Alzheimer situation. And this is one of the actresses, the social worker that was on the performance. That's here one of the technical assistants. And the crew members that we are still collaborating. Bruno Kageyama we are still very close collaborating in many projects. We've been collaborating also for some apps. Now the small movies are going into the cell phone of people. That can be easy because now it's better probably to get a cell phone and see an episode and get information about Alzheimer and go directly into the computer or the television. And we are performing now. We are directing apps for the cell phone too. There are the crew members. And this is part of the English project of the crew that we were in 2017. That's Bruno Kageyama, the producer, people that were in Stanford, the crew members, professional camera guys and assistants and etc. There were some of the actors that were performing for the project. We've been having a lot of collaboration throughout many years. We've been collaborating with the Ensambles de Mexico. That's a folklore dance group located in San Francisco, California, since 2003. With La Academia Slan, that is another folklore dance group located in San Jose, California. The Igor Kerr Center, we've been having a big friendship there. National Hispanic University, La Guelaguetza, Lazos Oaxaqueños, and all these organizations that we've been performing. And we also were part of Festival Latino de Mountain View. When Blanca Cinco was on board, one of the diversity coordinator, we performed the first Latino festival there. And we brought a lot of members in the community, and Teatro Nahual was also collaborating and being one of the partners on this project. Presentations in the past, we've been performing all over because we don't have a permanent house, a permanent theater house. La Plaza de la Herencia Mexicana, Mexican Heritage Plaza. We've been performing just a few times because the rent costs are very expensive. Sorry to mention, but it's supposed to be created for the community, but one show can be costing like almost $5,000, and for a community theater like Teatro Nahual, that we get a small grants or we get the donations. It's very hard to hold a season for 4 shows that we can pay $20,000 or more, including crew members. Macla, we've been performing in Macla too, that is located in San Jose on the First Street. They have a small black house, and that is very nice. They call a small theater house and a gallery, a beautiful gallery that they have. And we've been paying also a rent to perform in there. We've been performing just twice in Montgomery Theater, very high expenses that we cannot continue further. And different spaces, the Mission Cultural Center, Teatro Brava, Teatro Frida Kahlo in Los Angeles, Gallo Center in Modesto, and different schools that we go directly to perform at the schools. And El Museo Mexicano in 2016, we were performing there, like a small play. So we've been all over places. Lately, on the last years, we've been more in Macla, Movimiento de Cultura Latinoamericano. We've been on the First Street performing there. And on Macla, we pay the rent and we pay the expenses for being there. Future theatrical production for 2003. The new theatrical production that we are practicing right now is Los Cuernos de Mi Marido. I think that I've been very undecided about the right translation, and I've been continue asking what is the right translation for in English. That's why it appears in different ways. I think that you noticed very well, Sukanya. You noticed well that was one number and another, one name. And I decided, talking with different people that are English native languages, speak English, has a native speakers. I decided that can be My Husband's Horse. Yeah, My Husband's Horse will be the right title in English. Pero Los Cuernos de Mi Marido, the play is totally in Spanish. Yeah, and we are thinking to release the play in October 2003. And also we have a new children play that is called El Fantasmita Pluf or Pluf the Little Ghost. Yeah, it is no conventional children play. It's not like talking about the Beauty and the Beast, nothing like this. It's not conventional. It's a huge message about the cycle of life and about the meaning of lives and about the meaning of having friends in lives, the importance to keep living in a positive life, etc. Entonces that's a beautiful message there. And this play, Los Cuernos de Mi Marido, My Husband's Horse, has also Music Alive, directed by the teacher Isidro Jimenez. that he's working directly with the actors who are going to be singing and dancing. And there are approximately 10 actors on the scene with music alive, this performance. And also we have a team that we work together with Brigitte Wiley, that she's the stage designer, and she's in charge. She understands the mission of Teatro Nahual, that we are a community theater, and all the things that are going around. And we work together in order to present the place in the more professional basis that we can, on this space. This is a video for the last performance. We brought the play Legends, Dreams, and Realities to Alianza Charter School that is located in Watsonville. We gave 2 shows to the students. We got like 500, more than 500, because here probably are 250. Yeah, there are the middle school students. And I want that you see just the video is after the performance, and we performed in December 2022. That's the reaction of the students at the end. Yeah.
Hola. Start walking towards your class.
Actores.
Yeah.
Adiós. Adiós, Isidro. Adiós. Well, yes, that's what happens. We bring the play or the performance directly to the schools. If the schools cannot come over to the theater, we take the play to the schools. Yeah, that's part of also our goals. And we draw for more than an hour there with the actors, and was a wonderful experience and nice sense and a nice. I got so satisfied and so happy to bring the Spanish language opportunity to all the community for Watsonville, California, that most of the students or most of the population there are farmers. Yeah, and it's covered totally our mission. And we hope also to present the play here in Mountain View, and hopefully it can be possible in some bilingual schools, Spanish English schools here in the Bay Area, in Mountain View. Where were this one? I don't know, I missed something. This is one of the flyers for the Teatro Nahual, for one of the performances. And, these are the actors. These are a reunion or kind of a small party that we have on December before Christmas. And you can see one of the actors that will be participating also in the new plays that are coming for 2023. We have a website, www.teatronahual.org. Also, probably you have it in your notes there. For sure. You have it in
Yes, your website's listed.
Oh, it's listed there. Okay, cool. And also, maybe you're asking what I am asking for a free waiver, ¿verdad? Well, we consider significant that Mountain View for Performing Arts offers the opportunity to community theaters like Teatro Nahual to have the experience of performing in a traditional theater like the second stage. It will be a great experience, I think so, and allow us, I don't know, a very high point for Teatro Nahual to be performing in a real theater. Teatro Nahual's throughout the years fundraising focuses on covering the expenses to pay the high cost of alternative spaces to perform our plays, including the technical expenses, plus the rental spaces. Consequently, the actors and talent receive a minimum donation for their creative work. So with this fee waiver opportunity on the second stage, we can focus on the new performance production and give an honorarium to the actors who dedicate many hours to the theater practices and performances. And it will make a big difference to release the rental fee for Teatro Nahual's finances, especially during and post the pandemic situation. Yeah, and that's why we are requesting that. And in the future, is you consider and you are happy, we would like to also try to apply for a possible permanent stage theater house.
For the home company program?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Veronica. I appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have questions? Sukanya?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple of questions. Thank you. Sounds like you have a very exciting program and you're very enthusiastic about it, which is great. Do you charge young people for your classes?
Young people, we ask for a donation. We ask for a donation, yes, and some people are able to give the donations, some people are not able to give any donation. So what I've been deciding throughout the years is use the scale situation, or how do you call the scale point, where this is the recommended fee or recommended donation. And when people speak, usually most of the people are very straight and tell, oh, we can afford that donation that you're asking. Then we go through the scale, how much can you donate it, no? But I try and don't give like, in a few situations, yes, I give like scholarships for people, like 2 or 3, usually every course that they cannot afford anything. And when I find out what they do for good, or they have 2 or 3 jobs to really pay a rent in this Bay Area, and I say, no, don't worry about the expenses, don't worry, this is covered. Yeah. I try don't give a lot of things for free because sometimes people don't appreciate it. That's what I've been learning throughout the time. And I want that people have the discipline to continue in the course, and that being free doesn't mean that it's no important, or it's no professional, or it's no, or I didn't study, or I didn't work so hard during 20 years to have some credibility in the community. That's why I continue asking for some donation.
Okay, so on your application, you charge $25 or $30 for tickets. How many people do you see attending your events?
Well, usually it's a good question. Usually in the premieres, I think probably some the premieres, we get around like 100 people, 120, 130 people on the premieres. Now, the MACLA, the space where we were performing, just the people that can be inside of the theater of the space that we been, is 120, but very packed. Yeah, but it's recommended just to be 100 people. So the premiere, we get 100, and during the rest of the performances is changing. Yeah, sometimes in a good day, in a good Saturday, we get 60, 70. In a Sunday, we can get 30. Okay, we can get 40 people, and it's different. It's depending, I can tell.
But where does your audience usually come from? If you're in San Jose, is it mostly San Jose? If you're in Mountain View, is it mostly Mountain View? So where does you draw from?
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've been lucky because lucky, or I think that there are no options to the Spanish language theater, or there are a few options, or no options at all. And then we get audience, of course, from San Jose, audience for Pleasanton, San Francisco, Watsonville, all over the Bay Area. I cannot say just San Jose. You know, of course, Mountain View, we have a lot of people coming from Mountain View, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, and people driving far away in San Francisco and Oakland. I have actors that also live on that area in San Francisco, Newark, Hayward. So also that helps to promote the play and bring more people from those areas. It is helping a lot. And people that are very connected with from the south, Watsonville, Santa Cruz.
They'll drive that far to come here.
Yeah, they drive, yes, they drive far. And sometimes I am before presenting the play, and they are calling me on the phone because they are arriving late, and they are asking me if they are, the audience, they have my phone several, because most of the time I get it into the flyers, and they are asking, they are going to arrive late because of the traffic, and if they are going to miss the play, and that kind of communication we have with audience coming from far away.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other question, you said you were doing classes over at the community center. Are you paying a fee for that?
The community center, they are giving just a donation because we are not able to ask for a fee. It's a donation. Yeah. Okay. But it's a small donation. It's mostly for covering the rent space that we have to pay rent there. And of course, as I mentioned, some people don't give anything neither.
So are you saying the city is waiving the fee over at the community center, or you get donations to pay for it?
No, we need to pay the community center. Yeah. Okay. We are paying. No, they are not waiving anything for us. We have to pay the rental and the extra practices, the rental for the classes and the rental for the theater practices. Yeah.
Okay. I was also looking at your your statement of operations, and I noticed that there was no fees for rental of rooms. So everything was donated for you for last year? Because there's no rental, space rental on here.
No, okay, probably I didn't submit all the paperwork. But yes, we have a rental paper We have a proof that we pay rental. We have the paperwork, and that's included into the taxes, or into the taxes for Teatro Nahual. Yeah.
Because it says
Down-
total
down
12.
towards the bottom, it says rent minus 290
Mhm.
under professional.
$290.
Yes,
Okay, that seems, okay.
it seems
I-
low, yes.
Yeah, it seems, okay. And okay, so have you been into the second stage building yet?
No, I went to the first stage. O sea, the main one, beautiful one that you have. I've been there several times. In the second stage, I just saw the photos throughout your website. And I love it. But I would love if you allow me to go and see it one day. Yeah, is that possible? Yeah.
Okay, but now, right now you're located in Palo Alto. You don't have a permanent location or office?
Well, my office is my home. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been my home for all over, or for many years, for 20 years. I work in Palo Alto as a Spanish department coordinator, but I live in Mountain View. I am a Mountain View resident, and the practices are in the Renstor Community Center here in Mountain View. We've been practicing before the pandemic there.
How much does the community center charge you guys?
Well, I can pay probably 200, 300 a month. I don't remember. I have the paperwork. And when we practice the Saturdays too, we practice during the week, during the Saturdays, during a performance that we've been practicing like twice. We pay almost $1,000, I think so. Last year, between last year and this year. Last year, not this year. This year is the start, January. More than $1,000 paying for Saturdays because we go into marathon practices, talking about 9 o'clock to 1 p.m. And also including during the week too. Yeah.
And what's the main form of advertising your events?
What is the main form? Okay. Okay, we create flyers, we create posters. I have the opportunity to be in contact with several Hispanic newspapers here in the Bay Area. And they post our posters, our flyers, and everything. We are promoting our events through the radio, Hispanic radio too. We send emails through our contact list, we post things on Facebook, Instagram, wherever we can. We pass flyers by hand. Yeah, the actors sell tickets. Yeah, or help to sell tickets and promote because we are community theater and we are part of this process. Everybody is working equal in this case, and that's how we promote our shows. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions directed towards the staff. Are we approving the fee waiver based on this one show, or are we approving it for the company? Can we clarify the fee waiver program a little bit, please? Teresa, I think you're muted. You're muted.
Teresa, we can't hear you.
Teresa, you're muted.
Sorry, I hate it when I do that. So I just emailed you this form, just like while she was doing the presentation. So my apologies you didn't get it earlier, but for this conversation, let's make sure, and Justin just pulled it up there for you. They're evaluated on 4 factors. One is financial need. The other is diversity of programming, attraction of broader audiences, and potential long-term commitment. So the definitions on the financial need, of course, is shortfall between committed funding and production costs. That's provided by the applicant. Diversity of programming, diverse production genre not currently being offered at the MVCP or extends the diversity of points of view, and attraction of broader audiences. Applicant shows the performers and patrons are not currently active at the MVCPA and have a diverse ethnicity and differs from the current patron base potentially. And the potential long-term commitment, the applicant has the ability to be a viable repeat client. So hopefully this wouldn't be the only time that they would use the facility. So I hope that clears it out. And then you can see this is the ranking there. I wanted to make sure that.
So I don't understand your ranking. What's 2.55? Put that in context, please. So if you take the yellow, you have to add up all the yellow to be
Yeah,
the,
so basically, if you rank them 0 to 3, so you can see like 0 is low, medium, high. So, okay, you've got one in there that's already got ranking in there, Justin. It's
so
not,
this 2.55 is out of 10.
This is an example.
this is an example. So
So
yeah, so then, and then it's 2.55 out of,
10,
yeah,
okay.
It's out of 3.
out of 12.
You each rank 1 through 3, low, medium, high, and then it averages. So in this example, the 2.5 is an average of what the 5 members would have put in there for their scores. And then that's multiplied against 30%, which is how you get the 0.75. And then that's all added up to a final score.
Is this written down anywhere?
Yes, that's what I emailed to you was the scoring chart.
No. Is there a handbook? Is there a staff book that says, okay, this is, or for the committee that says these how you do things?
Yes, that's what I emailed to you.
No, okay. I guess. I just got,
I do have to, yeah, I have a similar question. I don't think that's what you emailed, or at least that's not what I've received yet.
yeah, I received something with 3 attachments and not one of them.
Yeah,
Says application, weave program, and waiver tracking
yes.
spreadsheet.
And that those 3 attachments don't actually show this either. This instruction on the scoring matrix, that's not attached. I don't see it.
So would you like me to email this to you?
Sorry?
There's the application. I thought that's what you had emailed me, Justin. I just forwarded you the email that you sent me.
So the documents that I have received as attachment is SSP waiver tracking. It's an Excel sheet.
Yeah,
And then-
and then it's the whoops.
Fee waiver
Scoring rubric
program.
and application attached, but it's not attached. I didn't give him the scoring rubrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're asking the committee to do is where it says rating on this example here, 1.53, 2.53, you just blank those out and you'll tell me in order from top to bottom what your ratings are. We normally would do this on paper, back when we met in person, and next time we'll hopefully be in person. But if you just read it to me, I'll write them down and give the.
2 questions, and I think member McAllister is asking the same thing. Is one, I don't have the rubric with me, the matrix, as an attachment to score. And second, where does it state that this is how the PAC members score?
They have to have the instructions for the scoring matrix. So hang on. Sorry. Am I going to easily find this? Does it give you the title of it, Justin?
I'm looking.
Okay. Fee waiver program. There we go.
Are we talking about this one?
I'm sending them the new 23.
Yeah.
I'm opening it now before I send it to make sure. There we go. Okay, I got the right one. Sorry about that.
I'd like to make a suggestion that since this event is not until October, that we table this matter so that we have the information in front of us. And then we can make a more detailed discussion or decision on it. So I
And
make,
move to the February meeting.
yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we table this until February.
Yeah, I would agree. And and it'd be nice to have all the documents in hand before.
So is that a second?
Yeah, I can second that.
Okay.
Do we have a vote?
No, you have a discussion?
Do we have a discussion?
Okay, I stated my reason, so I think since this is a learning curve for all of us, that it would be nice to have that and have time to ask questions beforehand.
Yes.
Yes. And I agree.
Veronica, we appreciate your presentation very much.
No, thank you, all of you, for your time and your patience. To be like
was a pleasure.
resilient in this new application. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does the Chula leave or you want to stay? Or-
We're not going to score it tonight, so we'll score it at the February meeting.
Okay,
So you're more than welcome to join us then if you want to be there when they score it, but we're going to table this to the February meeting.
February meeting. Okay, cool. Yeah. Then you have more questions, so I leave or how?
You can leave.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Gracias.
Good night.
Happy New Year 2023. Adios.
Yeah.
Adios.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
You still need to take a vote on this.
Take a roll call vote.
Vice Chair Kumar,
Yes.
Committee Member Yao,
Yes.
Committee Member McAllister.
Yes.
Okay. We'll move that to the February meeting.
Meeting, yes. Agenda item 5.3, presentation of staff timeline for home company review. Recommendation, the PAC will receive a staff presentation regarding the draft timeline and milestones for the review of the home company program.
So my goal is that I will come back to you in February with a history of the home company, like what we've done previously, kind of how we got here, you know, when council approved it, all the background historical information that you need. And then at that time, I'm going to ask for an ad hoc committee to work with staff to like do a deeper dive with the goal of coming back in April or May. This may take some time. So all of my months that I'm going to tell you are going to be like April, May, you know, we've got a little bit of time to, if we need to take more time, we can, and we'll still stay on track. But in April, May, the committee would come back with a synopsis analysis of other venues and what their best practices are and things that we would recommend for the home company here at Mountain View. And then May, June, approve those recommendations, because I'm assuming that when we bring it to the committee may have questions, they may have other considerations. It'll go back to the ad hoc committee and we'll make some adjustments and then bring it back to the whole committee in May and June and approve the recommendations from the ad hoc committee to make changes to the home company program. And then June, and we don't have a meeting in July, so it would be June or August would be the final approval. And then October, November, it would go to city council study session. They'll probably have some questions and things. We will come back in December for city council new business for approval by the council to approve the committee's recommended changes for the home company program.
Would it be possible to share this timeline in writing, even if it's rough draft?
Of course.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion on this matter?
Can I just go back for curiosity's sake on 5.2? Exactly how much money are they asking for a waiver?
So I have to look at how many dates. They're looking at dates of events, 3 events, 3 dates. So to look at our fee schedule. Do you know that off the top of your head, Justin? Sorry, these are the things I hate because when I'm new, I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know it off the top of my head either. It's the waivable fees are the room rate, equipment fees, and if there's any rush equipment fees, which are really good ones. So it's in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $2,000. And then on a 3-day kind of a run with some crew, they're probably going to pay $1,000 to $2,000 towards crew members.
So Justin, your sound is not very well. Or it's on my end either way, but I'm having a little trouble. It's mumbled. But did you say $1,000 a day?
No, it's not as high as $1,000 a day. It's in the neighborhood of overall over a 3-day show. It's going to be around 1,000 to 2,000 probably that would get a waived, would be my ballpark guess. And then they would also be paying probably 1,000 to 2,000 depending on how many crew members they are, because they pay for our staffing. Staffing is not waived.
Okay. And this will all be in a staff report when we come back in February?
That was one of my questions to you, what you were looking for from information from us for this. So you would like to have a better idea. I can't give you specifics because of what their costs would be, but we can give you kind of the idea, a range. And then you also want to know a little more about, I think you said something about the background of this, or?
So if you're asking us to waive something, it would be very important to know how much we're waiving, the costs, how they're calculated, how costs have been waived in other cases, and who's there when you say those certain waives, the room's waived, but the staff isn't waived. And so
Sure.
If you could give us all that type of information, it would make it a lot better for us to say, yeah, because at this point, I could not say I'm going to waive anything because I don't know what we're waiving. So those would be very helpful to have. And then your spreadsheet would be also to have a little, even though you have examples, because you, if you could spend the time and say, just give us an example or give us more detail of how it flows, you know, maybe a written narrative instead of just saying this and this. Because
Gotcha.
this is all new to me. And that would be
Me too.
very helpful for me as we go forward on this one. And when you say your rating level descriptions, hopefully you'll have that somewhere where you're going financial needs, diversity of program, attraction of broader audiences. Because I know when I saw that, based on our last meeting when we did the home committee, there were some things that came out of that was very interesting about, well, we had basically parents were showing up for this event, and also the demographics of the crowd was older. And so I'm looking at the big picture and how it affects the center, but how it also can benefit the city of Mountain View downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are factors that I look for to say, okay, is this thing broader audience? If it's all it is one small group and you get 100 people, 10, then maybe we get a potential long-term commitment. So all those things are, yeah, just a lot of that information needs to be in a narrative form. That's why I asked you earlier, is there a book that staff looks at that says, okay, here, how we do this stuff?
To add to that, I would also say, when you say diversity, do you mean diversity for MVCPA, or do you say diversity based on the company itself, as in how diverse is their programming? So yeah, it's a little confusing. The terms are minimalistic, and a little bit of description on what do you mean by that would help us understand what we are reviewing.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
So,
because the
Yeah, is
attraction
it like
of
diverse
broader
based on the
audiences.
other? Is it diverse based on, in comparison to the other programs at the center, or is it diverse within the company itself?
No, it's diversity of programming.
Okay,
So in comparison to what we currently have.
okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, a description of like that, when you say words, I think a description of what you mean by that, couple of sentences would really help. I hope that that's clear.
No, no, that's very clear. And then I do wholeheartedly agree. We need to have an estimate of the dates that they're asking for.
Yeah.
And how much that would cost, and then potentially, it's gonna be an estimate, because what I don't want to do is go back to them and say, ask them specific crew numbers and that sort of thing, because I don't want to mislead them if they don't get approved. But based on a show coming in, what any typical show and what kind of crew they would need, a house manager, you know, a general rule will give us enough so that you know how much the building cost is going to be and how much the labor would be that they would need to be paying.
And just to be clear one more time, we are waiving for this presentation, right? The presentation of the my husband's harms, right? Just that one program.
Yeah, the fee waiver program is only for one time. So if they come back and use the facility again, it's not a fee waiver program.
So it's for a show, it's not for the company.
Yes.
Okay, so I think
But
a
she
little
is
bit,
interested in becoming a home company. That's been
Right.
made very clear to me.
right,
Oh.
yeah. So maybe when you request for, I know you have the fee waiver program, where is that? The application. Is there a word limit in that application?
Well, how do I say this? The application is extremely brief. And what she did was attach a separate document, which was smart on her part. But what I will say is the application, and I can forward all this to you guys so that you can see it before the next meeting. The application is very brief. That is currently in use, I guess is the best way for me to say that.
Okay, in that case, I do have a question. Can we go back for more information about the program itself, about the this event itself? Because I felt that the presentation didn't leave me with too much details about this particular show. It felt more like reviewing the company itself, and I guess we are not doing that.
So you want more information about this particular show?
Yes.
Yeah, there's one paragraph.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote, yeah.
Yeah, and the presentation didn't cover much either. It covered more about them as a company and their previous shows and things like that, but not.
The context of the context of it. So.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And for Justin, could you also, when you do the numbers, just give the minimum, just give, here's the baseline. If any show showed up, this is the minimum it's going to cost them.
Can do that. Yep.
Yeah. And then that we can, at least we have a baseline, then we go from there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Also, just a comment, her presentation, Teresa, did you have any idea of her presentation before she started it?
It got forwarded to me this morning or this afternoon. So I didn't have it until this afternoon.
Do we have a letter or something that we sent to an applicant to say, you have 10 minutes to make your presentation? Because it seemed to be wandering a bit. I mean, she was giving us a lot of background over the years and all that stuff. Is there a way that
I see that mentioned in the application form that you just forwarded.
yeah, if we could get that a little tighter?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, because her financial statements were sort of misleading too.
Well, and this, I feel like I'm kind of going off topic a little bit, but this kind of also goes back to the evaluation of the home company program. My suggestion would be that we throw this fee waiver program in there too, because what I would suggest is rather than them sending in their budget is that we give them a form that asks for the financial information that we want, and they fill that out. And then it's up to you guys. I mean, this is really up to you, but then you could also ask for a 990.
Hmm.
You know, you're
What's a
essentially,
990?
huh?
What's a 990?
That's a nonprofit when they turn in their final tax
Oh, okay.
information for nonprofit.
Is that for 501Cs?
Yes.
Okay.
But if we're providing them a form to fill out,
Mhm.
then we're not missing information.
Yeah.
Or you have them do what they do, but then if they're missing information, then that's kind of on them. But I think, I guess my comment would be is our intention is to try to set them up for success. So perhaps it's better that we provide a fillable budget document, as if you would do that if you were applying for a grant.
Because there was a big red flag when the rent is $290, yet she was saying they were spending thousands of dollars over at the community center, and I'm going. So, I mean, those two didn't come together though.
Yeah.
This is what you get to look forward to when you have me on your committee. I get into the weeds sometimes.
It's all right.
That's good,
It's all
that's
right.
good.
It needs to be looked at. It's kind of, what I would say is it's not the fee waiver request doesn't have a lot of history documentation behind it. It's like we came up with a fee waiver program. And not that it's a great idea to do, but what we don't have is kind of the mission and the intention behind it, and how many would we be willing to do a year, and the bigger picture.
Yeah. And that's sort of what I guess we are asking, because if we are waiving the fee for this particular show, then is this the first one? Is it on a first come, first served basis? Do we have a set limit of how much we waive? Lots of questions.
Yeah. And that goes to follow up. We're playing tag here. Is that we got to go back to the big picture of what's the performing arts balance? How do they make their money? What's the revenue? If you're going to be donating it, to your point, Vice Chair, is okay, we've hit a limit. And so we have no context of any of what's going on. So if we could get that, that would help me better understand all these little independent parts to say, okay, yes, we can do it. No, we can't. We're not contributing the money that the city manager wants us to contribute, and so forth like that.
On that note, I would also like to suggest.
Yay, yay.
On that note, I would like to suggest that we add attachments to the agenda itself, because I think with new members coming in to PAC, and also just for like public knowledge, I think it'll be better to have the basis of how a fee waiver program works as a permanent attachment if we are talking about it in the agenda, instead of asking for an email and sending it at the after. It would be nice to have it as an attachment with the presentation.
Before you get off the subject, I wanted to mention that with our current, I'm sorry, yep, I'm having to use the laptop microphone, so I have to lean over there to talk into it loud.
Okay.
For some reason, my microphone on my webcam didn't work tonight. What I wanted to say was that to meet our advertising deadlines for an October show, this really should be finalized in the next meeting. if you guys, you're talking about big changes and if we're evaluating the entire program, you're not going to get that decision done in time for this company to have things done on our advertising schedule. So it would be best if the next meeting you make a decision on this group.
Okay, so that brings up a question, Justin. You just sort of, who's paying? So you're saying when we send out our advertising, is that in the booklet? And do they get free advertising if they rent a room or if we waive fee? So we get that quarterly book that comes out.
The preview magazine is for all of our clients that rent the facility, whether it's a fee waiver program, home company, or they're just renting it. If it's a ticketed event and open to the public, it's in the preview magazine. And then we do press releases, we do rack cards with Facebook posts. I mean, there's an entire marketing
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
program.
So I know I'm sort of dragging this out a little, but so they're going to collect fees, ticket sales. Who gets the money?
They do.
So we're waiving our fee plus they're getting money. So do we have an accountability? Do they have to report how much revenue they get?
Well, we know how much revenue they get. So, I mean, basically what I'll say is anytime you're selling tickets, we know your revenue. So we do a reconciliation at the end. If it's not a fee waiver, it's going to be, the reconciliation is going to be your revenue of your tickets minus the facility fee, the, labor, any other piano, whatever else you've used in the facility. You're going to reconcile that against your revenue, and then you're going to get your net revenue back to you.
Is there any written policies and procedures like that?
For our reconciliation, yes, that's in our contract essentially.
Okay, could you send those kind of examples out too?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think considering what Justin just mentioned, I think it would be nice for this time to at least have a little bit more detail about this program itself, and then a rough outline of what the fee waiver program asks the PAC to do. Essentially, I know it's our program, but then if you can just describe some of the words that are used to score them. I think for now, we can start there and then attach the review of the program to the review of the home company program, like you suggested.
Yeah, because the idea behind the fee waiver program really is that they become a permanent user of the facility, that the fee waiver is a one-time
Okay.
application. You don't get to apply again.
Hmm.
So it's kind of to give you a leg up so that then the next time you rent the facility, you've got that revenue, you can do it, you can continue to. So, I mean, that's, how would I say, like, if I was going to add another criteria, I mean, that is one of the criteria is this potential long-term commitment.
Mhm.
That's a little harder one to determine, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So
I
this
know I'm good. Hey, so I'm looking at your application request for fee waiver, and if I'm going south on this, help me out. It says instructions scoring metrics to be completed by the PAC. I'm looking at it, and this is, brother, it's good that we're discussing this beforehand or maybe before it comes up. But what's a passing score?
there is no pass or, well, there is no pass or fail, but if someone gets scored 0 all across, so the levels of support are by percentage. So if someone scores 0, then they get 0 waivable fees. So that means everyone would have to rank them at 0 in all 4 categories. And then if someone gets a score of 1, then they get 50%. If they get a score of 2, then they get 75% waivable fees.
Okay,
So it's a sliding scale. So
okay,
you don't have to 100, you're scoring them, and then that determines the percentage of the fees that are waived.
Okay.
that is a topic I like to table for another day, because that seems sort of, I like to get more depth into that. So that's just some back burner. Also, Justin, you said the waive fee is usually to the room rate, but here it says equipment fees also.
Yes, correct. Room rate and equipment fees, and if there's any rush booking fees, which there wouldn't be for this show.
So everybody's always going to have equipment fees.
No, not necessarily. It depends on what their show is, you know, what the demands of that show are.
Okay, so when you bring your staff report, you'll also put the equipment fees and all these other fees and any other fees. So there's just the 3 fees that are waived: room, equipment. Okay, and so you'll
Yeah.
give us a baseline of all that too, sort of an idea with.
There are some equipment that just comes with the building and some that we charge fees for. So that's why it's not necessarily, it depends on what they use. If they use a piano, there's a charge for that. Wireless microphones, there's a charge for that. But just to use our sound system and a corded microphone, there's not a charge for that.
Okay, I know this is getting down in there, but we're learning from brand new. So as we go forward, if you put that in there saying, okay, these are included, these aren't, then it, you know, hopefully 6 months from now, you never will hear these questions again.
It's all right. Because for me, this is all new too. So it's a little like, okay, what are we doing?
And okay, again, potential long-term commitment. It's not does the staff assume when this person comes in and rents it for a day, are they assuming that they're going to try for a long-term commitment?
I don't think we could assume that, but in this case, she did say that was her intention.
Okay, because then there's a policy procedure or something. You know, to me, I would like to say, we'd like to see you one time and then we'll make a decision after we see what you do. Instead of saying, well, okay, you're going to do it. And so that's another criteria we'll look at. Okay, we looked at it. Yeah, you just don't fit in or something like that. So I don't know, down the road or however you do that, that's something that.
Well, and that's why I say that this really should be reviewed along with the home company, because the intention of this fee waiver is really that, 1, you're using the second stage more, and then 2, the long-term commitment, which in this case is someone who has the intention of wanting to become a home company. So they do feed, one program feeds into the other program. So we need to make sure that, you know, we're lining that up to be able to make that determination. This is a one-time fee, and yes, you're welcome to use the building, and you're not going to be a home company based on whatever criteria the PAC wants. Or yes, you are going to become a home company because you met the criteria in this and this and this.
Yeah. And yeah, in that long-term review, it would be nice to give them sort of a guideline for their presentations too, to just add on to what Committee Member McAllister said, so that they don't waver, and give us background information when what we're actually doing is giving a fee waiver for one program. So we'd like to get more information on that as much as we get information about the company itself.
So I have one more clarification, and then I want to move on if we
Yes.
can. I'm not
Mhm.
telling you that we have to. I'm just thinking, do we want her to give you more written information, or do you want her, because I can reach back out to her and say, thank you for your presentation, but this was really about the entire company, which is not what they wanted. They really want a presentation about this particular show, or would you rather have that in writing and not have another presentation?
Well, my opinion on that would be that, considering that 5.3 is also being discussed in detail in February meeting, to keep it brief, let's go with the written one that can be emailed to us prior to the meeting, and hopefully with enough time for us to read it before the meeting, would be my suggestion. But what do the other members say?
Yes. Because yeah, I'd like to see that in writing too, the context.
Yeah, I also agree.
Could have been embarrassing that we have these people come in and we have no idea what the thing's going about. So,
Okay.
Okay. So we're jumping back to 5.3. We kind of had a timeline and I was asking the director if you can send that in writing, right?
Yes,
That's where
I
we
can.
stopped. Okay.
I will do that by the end of this week.
Do we have a discussion on 5.3? Any suggestions?
Yes.
Yes.
A broad term.
Yes? No?
Move on.
Is there public comment? Do we have public to comment?
Did Carol come and go?
She was here and then she went away and now she's in here again.
She asked to be moved back over to the attendees side.
Oh, she did? Okay, never mind. Then I should move her back.
Again, do we have public comment?
No.
No. So moving on, agenda item 5.4, election of officers. Recommendation, elect a new chairperson and vice chairperson. I don't know how the process is, so staff help out here.
Well, there's only 3 of us, so it's not like it's a,
Should we Rochambeau or?
well, typically the vice chair would move up. But I'll just throw something out and, you know, I'm happy, but I've had a little more experience in running, well, I've had a lot of experience running meetings. And I would propose, and I don't want to step on the vice chair's thing, but I would like to, maybe I'll be chair and then I could teach you and help you and nurture you. I'm a little more forceful, you might say sometimes, and knowledgeable on how things should run. And that's why sometimes I jump in and I shouldn't, and I don't mean to jump in on certain things. These are the procedures and so forth like that. And that might help the staff because you're dealing with somebody that know what my expectations are, and they'll know what their expectations are, and it might too. So I'd be willing to do that if that's okay. If you want to still move up the chair, that's fine too.
What does committee member Yao want?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
So my thought about this is I would like to try being chair with a lot of support from committee member McAllister. Maybe, I don't know if there is a concept of co-chair, but with 3 members at this point, I would just speak from experience that being vice chair or being a committee member watching the chair, with all the mentoring, I don't think you learn until you are put in the spot, to say. So I think the experience of learning on the job, considering that we have a very supportive group of people in PAC as well as in staff, if everyone is okay with it, I would like to ask to be chair.
So be it. I nominate Vice Chair Kumar to be chairperson.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay, so roll call. Vice Chair Kumar,
Yes.
Committee Member Yao,
Yes.
Committee Member McAllister.
Yes.
And for vice chair?
Someone has to nominate someone. Or discuss it.
I nominate committee member McAllister to be vice chair.
I graciously accept your nomination. I'll go ahead and second it.
Okay. Roll call.
Roll call. So now I get to call you Chairperson Kumar.
Yes.
Committee Member Yao
Yes.
and Committee Member McAllister,
Yes.
who is now Vice Chairperson McAllister.
I just want to mention procedurally, we've been skipping the public comments.
Oh, sorry. Our public is Carol and she doesn't want to talk.
She left us again, right?
She's there. She's just not.
So when I look at the thing that says participants, there says 5. And then would she be under the attendees? Oh, okay,
Yes.
so she has her hand waved. Okay.
Yeah, and we can allow her to talk if you want comments at this point.
Yes, please. Do we have?
Go ahead, Carol.
Oh, she's gone. Oh,
No, I
there?
I
Oh,
see
you moved-
her.
Oh, you moved her up. Gotcha.
still need to unmute.
Congratulations, everyone, and nominating a chair and a vice chair. And as far as the fee waiver program goes, yes, it does need to be looked at more closely, but that's one of those things that PAC kind of formulated and arrived at, and it's not necessarily totally a staff thing from my recollection.
Mm-mm.
But you're right on. They need to be looked at more closely as far as the financials and what they're going to contribute. So I'll look at my files and see if I can find any previous procedures that we came up with, and I'll forward that to staff. But I would say congratulations to Sukanya. I've enjoyed serving with her, and also Vice Chair McAllister, they're both eminently qualified. And so I'll be following what PAC does. It's been one of my loves for the past 8 years and continuing forward. And so congratulations. I didn't expect to talk this much. You shouldn't have called on me. Good to see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Carol. It was a pleasure serving with you. Move on to agenda item 6, committee staff announcement, updates, requests, and committee reports.
So
No
the
action.
only update I really have, it's not really an update. You guys should have already been sent. Please tell me that you were. I hope. The expense and expenditure and revenue report. And I gave you from 12/13 to fiscal year 21-22, because we're in 22-23 right now. That won't close until the end of June.
Mhm.
So I wanted to make sure that you guys indeed got that, and if there was any questions for staff.
1 second.
Hey, is it possible that we get contact phone numbers for all the committee members and for our illustrious executive director, if she's willing to give us her her cell phone?
We can do that. I can update the list. I was hoping I'd have a couple extra folks to update it with, but I can update it and I can put my information on there also. We can send that
That
out.
would be, yeah, because that way we're trying to start slowly with you. We don't want to have 5 people that you have to respect. Those are type of updates that would, if that happens and if you could send an email out saying, hey, Pac, that you're down to 3 again, because that could make a difference of people going, oh, I thought we had 5, I don't need to attend. And then we wouldn't have our quorum again. So if you could keep us updated on that, that would be great. I know Wanda sends out a roster every now and then. But I guess she'll be sending out a new roster with all the people, because there's constantly new people coming on board for the whole city stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
I just wanted to ask if you received that email, Vice Chair, that Wanda sent out about the 2 resignations.
no, that's.
Or am I the only one who received it?
So she did-
Yeah.
What date was that?
Today.
Nope. Didn't get it.
So yeah,
So much for being-
I was informed that we are 3,
Okay.
I guess.
What's the
It
email?
wasn't. An email sent out by Wanda.
Yeah, I also received an email from Wanda today.
It's
Just
just
before
you,
the-
John.
Just
Thank
before
you,
the meeting.
Wanda. After all
Yeah.
these years, 15 years of working with her, she dishes
Oh
me.
my. Oh,
Wow.
that's a training video. Proof.
That's for the Brown Act. No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
talking about the email about the resignation of the
Oh,
appointed.
I didn't receive
I-
that.
Oh, okay. I received both the email that new members have been appointed, and I received an email that they resigned. So
Oh.
Well, you're the
okay.
vice chair. You're important.
come on now.
I did take the Brown Act meeting.
Mm,
Was it last week? So
Okay.
now I know what I do wrong. I'll just say, yeah, the hell with it. So yeah, there we go.
Well,
So, Yao, did you take the Brown Act training?
Not yet.
Okay, you need to do that. And
Oh, okay.
Kumar, you did, Sukanya, you did that?
I watched the video. Yes.
Okay,
So
You didn't
yeah,
do the live version?
she sent me an email not to attend the live version because there will be a quorum. Yeah, the email was confusing, but I saw the video.
oh,
Well, at
they did.
least I got invited to the live action. So there,
Oh.
I don't feel so bad now.
Oh.
Well, do we have public comment on the staff announcement?
We have no public.
We have no public. Moving on to the final item, adjournment. The next Performing Arts Committee meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 15th, 2023 at 6:15 p.m. in the Atrium Conference Room, 500 Castro Street. Yay, to meeting in person.
Yes, in
Okay.
person.
Yes. With that, I adjourn the meeting of the Performing Arts Committee, City of Mountain View, January 18th, 2023 at 7:50 p.m.
Do any of
Well,
you,
Thank
do
you.
any of you need directions to the atrium room?
Yes, please.
bottom floor next to the men's room. Hey, it's the truth.
I didn't think John needed it.
He needed the opportunity to say that.
I know.
Thank you for helping.
I do bring some levity to events sometimes. so. Great job, Chair. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we'll see
So
you
now
there.
now the mission is just to get some more committee members. So
Yes.
I will be talking to Wanda because I'm presuming that we're gonna repost it.
Mhm.
So, but I think if we're talking to folks and in recruiting folks, make sure that they understand that they cannot be a user of the building and be on the committee.
Okay,
So
Conflict of interest. There you go.
conflict of interest. So
yes.
we'll be a little more transparent about that, I think is the word that I want to use.
Yes.
See ya.
Thank you for your
Thank you very
time.
much.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Bye-bye.